I keep hearing the same story over and over again. People say, I took my Social Security at 62 because that's what the financial expert said to do. Or they were told over the long run, you'll end up with more money, so make sure you take your Social Security at 62 years old. Have you all heard that? And then after they take it, they realize something really uncomfortable. They can't actually live on the Social Security. That's what I want to talk about today. Not theory, not charts, but real life. Let me be clear up front, I'm not a financial advisor and I'm not here to tell you when to take your Social Security. What I am doing is pointing out the things I see people discover after it's too late and wishing they'd known before. A lot of financial planners and online experts say things like, if you take Social Security at 62, over the long run, you'll actually collect more money. Okay, fine. That sounds great on paper. But here's the real question no one asks about out loud. Can you pay your monthly bills? Because over the long run doesn't help you when you need groceries. Your insurance just went up. Property taxes increased. Medical costs weren't what you expected. Monthly life doesn't care about long-term math. This is where I see people get hurt. A lot of people take Social Security without ever truly knowing what they spend each month, what their non-negotiables are, how much flexibility they do or don't have. They're simply guessing. They're hoping and they're assuming, and then reality hits. Here's the part that shocks people. And I really wish more people talked about this before they take Social Security at 62. If you take Social Security early and then realize you can't survive on it, you might think, it's okay, I'll just go back to work. But there's a catch. If you are under full retirement age, which is 67, you can only earn $24,480 a year. Anything over that, Social Security will take $1 for every $2 you earn over that amount. So now you're working hard, losing benefits just to try to stay afloat. That's not freedom, that's stress. This is the part people don't talk about enough. Going back to work isn't always the plan, it's the panic response. And it comes with exhaustion, embarrassment, resentment, fear of, did I mess this up permanently? Especially when you thought you were done working and going to be enjoying your golden years. There's another piece that often gets overlooked, especially for couples who haven't planned well for their retirement. You have to ask, what happens when one of us passes away? Nobody wants to talk about that, but it's a reality that all of us will pass away at some point of our life, leaving a spouse. Because at that point, one Social Security check goes away completely. The surviving spouse keeps the higher of the two, not both. So if your household needs 2 checks to survive, what happens to the person left behind? This is especially critical for couples living close to the edge. One income household situations where neither spouse really loves dealing with money. This isn't pessimistic, it's realistic. It's love to make sure that your surviving spouse will be able to pay their bills when you're gone. This is the part people really don't want to think about, but they need to. A lot of couples make Social Security decisions as if they're always going to be here together. But the truth is, one of you will outlive the other. And when that happens, one Social Security check just vanishes. For many couples, the surviving spouse only keeps the higher of the 2 checks, not both. So if you take yours early at 62 and lock in at a lower benefit, that decision doesn't just affect you, it follows your spouse for the rest of their life. I don't think most people connect those dots. This isn't about guilt or shame. A lot of people did the best they could with what they knew at the time. But if you're watching this and you haven't filed yet for Social Security, or you're helping a spouse decide, please slow this part down. Look at your real monthly expenses, what happens when one income disappears, and whether one Social Security check can carry the load of the bills. Because retirement decisions aren't just about today, they're about who's left holding the bag later. I've talked to people who said, I've never thought I'd be doing this alone. And I've talked to people who said, I wish we had thought this through sooner. You can't change the past, but you can make informed decisions going forward. And sometimes the most loving financial decision you make isn't about you at all. It's about the person who may have to carry on without you. This is why blanket advice like always take it at 62 or always wait until 70 can be dangerous, because those rules don't account for your spending, your health, your spouse, your stress tolerance, your margin for error, and once Social Security starts, the options narrow drastically. I'll be honest, I didn't do everything right financially either. There are things I handled well and things I avoided longer than I should have. That's why I'm passionate about awareness, not advice, because ignoring the numbers doesn't make it all work out for your best interest. This isn't about whether 62 is right or wrong, it's all about this. Don't make a permanent decision without knowing what your life actually costs. Long-term math doesn't matter if you can't survive month to month. And I'll figure it out later can turn into years of stress. Something else that I've heard people say is, well, it's my money, I've earned it, and I don't know if I'll live in 1 year, 2 years, 5 years more, so I better take it now. Well, we buy insurance for our homes, for our cars, and we don't know if we'll ever use that insurance either. And that was our money too, that we spent to buy it. But it's there just in case we need it. Well, think of Social Security as the same thing. We may get it, we may not. But I can guarantee you, when you're dead, you won't care. But while you're alive, you want to make sure that you take it all at the proper time so that you can at least pay your bills. If you've already taken your Social Security and this sounds familiar, you're not alone, and if you haven't taken it yet, please hear this. Take a good, hard look at your real spending. Create a spreadsheet or buy one that you can just input the numbers and know exactly how much you spend every single month. Know what can be cut out and what are the non-negotiables. Know how much money it will take to just pay your living expenses. I bought my spreadsheet from Etsy. It was about a $4 instant download. It has been so helpful for me to see exactly what my expenses are and income every single month. No guessing. We can't go into retirement guessing and hoping. We have to have facts, real life facts, not just take advice from a financial advisor who has a huge retirement portfolio. If you're on this channel, you're trying to catch up with retirement savings just like me. Because probably, like a lot of people our age, we neglected to save properly for our retirement. And think about your spouse. Understand the consequences before the Social Security check starts, because peace of mind matters more than winning a math argument. If you've seen this happen or lived it, I'd love for you to comment. These are the conversations people need before decisions are made, not after. Before you go, if this video made you stop and think, or if you know someone who's considering taking Social Security early, please share this with them. This is one of those conversations people usually have after it's too late. And I love to help someone at least think it through before they make that decision. If you found this helpful, give it a like. It really does help this video reach the people who need to hear it. And if you want more honest, real-life conversations about money, retirement, and the things we don't always plan perfectly for, subscribe to this channel. I'm not here to give financial advice. I'm just here to help people think clearly and avoid unnecessary stress. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.